Boker Tov, everyone. Good to be with you on this beautiful Shabbat morning. Let us begin our journey through the Omer today with a blessing of gratitude, Moda or Moda'ani. I am thankful before you, living and enduring sovereign, for you have mercifully restored my soul within me. Great is your faithfulness. This week, we have been going through our sixth kind of focal point, which is becoming the vision, our journey to Sinai from slavery, from a place of narrowness that was Mitzrayim, is coming toward an end. We are moving ever closer to confirmation, to the holiday of Shavuot. And so we prepare ourselves what the next step will look like. So today, let us say this blessing together for this next day of the Omer on our journey. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat haomer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who sanctifies us with mitzvot and commands us concerning the counting of the Omer. Hayom echad v'arba'im yom shehem chamisha shavuot v'shishi yamim la'omer. Today is 41 days, which is 5 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. And I just want to thank all of you so much for being here this morning to start our Shabbat off in a beautiful way today. So Sarah Gill and Barbara Riker, so lovely to see you. Michelle Shehan and Diane Gross, wonderful to see you. Good morning, Tom and Pam and Don. Always great starting a day with all of you. Boker Tov to Riva and to George Mayer and to Jay. Wonderful to see you as well. Pat and Andrea and Eve, Marla and Rabbi Catherine. I'm so grateful to all of you for being here in Sacred Community, not just today, but so many days. And for everyone else who joins us later in the day or who is here right now, but the Facebook algorithm gods aren't allowing me to see your name. Just thank you so much for being here. Your presence really matters, and it's much more special of a journey because of your presence here. Before we go into our teaching today as well, I also just want to thank you, Marla. Thank everyone so much for such a touching component to services last night. Today, I'm celebrating my 10th year as a rabbi, the anniversary of my rabbiversary. But I am just so incredibly thankful that I can be part of this phenomenal community because Temple Bethel is really a congregation and a community unlike any other that I have been a part of. And I am so grateful for all of you. the kind of commitment we have to the fact that there's a dozen to 2 dozen people here every single morning of counting the Omer, just when it starts at 8:30 and many more later on. I mean, it speaks to the kind of love of learning, uh, trying to connect with spirituality. It speaks to just the enormous blessings in our community. And that's not even counting the many, many other blessings in our community. So as I'm thinking back over the past 10 years of my rabbinate, I couldn't be more thankful and to be right here at Temple Bethel, where I hope to be for a very, very long time. So with that, let us turn to today's counting of the Omer. And what I brought in today, because this week is all about being the vision, is a text that comes from one of our scrolls in a holiday that we celebrate in the spring, where someone doesn't necessarily know what it is that they're being called to do until another person points it out to them. And so this text is straight from the scroll of Esther, and it's my favorite lines, or some of my favorite lines in the entire story of Megillat Esther. On the contrary, if you keep silent in this crisis, relief and deliverance will come to the Jews from another quarter, while you and your father's house will perish. And who knows, perhaps you have attained to royal position for just such a crisis. Mordecai is speaking to Esther and is telling her, perhaps the entire reason that you have been born, perhaps your mission, your purpose in life is to stand up right now at this moment, to lean into something that is uncomfortable in order to save your people. And I'm beginning to think, as we're in this week about visioning, right? Purpose feels like a really, really big part of that. What is the purpose that we wish to have? And for many of us, there might be many, many, many purposes. I don't think there's necessarily just one, but Esther is being called to do something that she may not have done without a little nudge to get there. But wow, is she glad that she did? I mean, she has a whole Megillah named after her, right? But she saves her people, and she's able to do something that is really, truly sacred because she feels called to do it. Brought in a couple of extra texts. One is Nietzsche, who said, "Those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how." I found that to be really, really powerful because when we know where we're going, Esther's why is to save her people. She loves her people. She believes that no one should be persecuted or, God forbid, killed because of their religion or ethnicity. And she is able to bear the how of putting her own life on the line in order to serve her why. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, also wrote, "Ultimately, man should not ask us what the meaning of his life is, but rather must recognize that it is he who is asked. In a word, each man is questioned by life, and he can only answer to life by answering for his own life. To life, he can only respond by being responsible." Yesterday, there were a couple comments that the question that I asked was a big one. Well, I'm afraid that today's might be even bigger, because today's relates to the very purpose that we hope to have, the ways in which we hope to expand our own horizons and push ourselves so that we can serve a why within our soul. And as we think about that, there's another question to add on top of it. What are the stories you tell yourself about your potential? How many of them echo voices that you heard growing up? What are the stories you tell yourself about your potential? Because perhaps it's even bigger than you imagine, just like Esther. Today, I'd like us to conclude, as we do each day, with a prayer of healing for everyone in our community, perhaps for ourselves, for people in India who are dealing with this absolutely awful surge, for people in Israel who are mourning the losses of their family members who died in that awful stampede on Lag BaOmer, to people who need love and warm embrace. We hope that this Mishaberach prayer will bring some healing and some sense of peace. Today we're going to sing Lisa Levine's Mishaberach. Mishaberach Avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzhak, v'Yaakov. Mishaberach Imotenu, Zarari of Kaleha v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Bless us with the vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Mishaberach Avotenu, Mishaberach Imotenu. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. I hope everyone has a really wonderful Shabbat, and we will come together. There's a variety of different options for you to do over this Shabbat day, including meditation and coming back together at 7 p.m. for a Havdalah service. And tomorrow, of course, we'll come together on Mother's Day for another day of counting the Omer. I look forward to seeing you soon.